Right, in finishing this week's Torah reading, not exactly finishing, but one of the main issues over here is the actual blessing that Yaakov received from his father Yitzchak, or more exactly, that he tricked his father Yitzchak to giving him. As you remember, yesterday we learned that Yitzchak decided that he wanted to bless his evil son Asov. What the motivations were, we had different explanations. According to Chassidut, he knew how bad he was, but he wanted to fix him up by blessing him. So he sent him out to go and buy and hunt food and bring it to him. And he went out and it delayed. He delayed a long time. And Rivka, she overheard, or she knew by divine inspiration of this whole design of Yitzchak to bless the evil son Asov, and she didn't want it. So she told her son Yaakov to disguise himself, and she disguised him as Asov, and he came to the room, and it worked. He really fooled his father. And it says, Vayigash, that Yaakov came close to his father, and he kissed him. And he kissed him, and he smelled the smell of his garments. This is the mimer that we just learned this morning. And he gave him a blessing. Yitzchak gave a blessing, and he said, Ra'ei reach bani, he blessed him. And then after he blessed him, he said, I see that the smell of my son is like the smell of a field that God has blessed. Okay, that's what we said. Now he's going to start the blessing. Here goes the blessing. Ready? Vayiten l'cho Elokim mital shemayim. This is Yitzchak blessing Yaakov, thinking that he's blessing Asov. He said, may God give you from the dew of heaven and from the oil of the earth and a bountiful amount of grains and wine, grains and grapes. Rashi, God vayiten, he says, and he should give. And means God will give you, and he'll give you again. Simply, this is talking about the first thing, that I smell the smell of my son, that God, the smell of my son that God has given to you, like the smell of a field. So what is it? Yitzchak thought that this was Asov, and that Asov was already starting to change, that he already had this fragrant smell coming from him. And if you read the mimer we read in the morning, this fragrant smell, it means that he has changed his actions and his attitude, and he's sending up a fragrant smell to God, like the sacrifices did in the holy temple. Also, it says God will also give you the dew of the heaven, and it'll mital, and it'll also give matara shemayim, and it'll also give you the rain from heaven. It says mital shemayim. Like simply, the rabbis say, they explain this in many, many different ways. Here he gives the small letters, what they are. So Rashi said, there was another Rashi, I don't know where here we go. I don't know why he wrote this in small letters. He said, what is the Elokim? Elohim. This is the name of God, which indicates judgment and severity. So it says like this, that God will judge you. What does it mean? That Yitzchak is saying to Yaakov, if you are fitting for the blessing, then God will give it to you. But if you're not fitting for the blessing, then God will not give it to you. But to Asov, we'll see in a few minutes, I hope, that Asov, God said, Yitzchak said that God will give to you the oil of the earth, the fatness, whatever, of the earth, and will be your dwelling. In other words, no matter if you're good or you're not. What type of a blessing is that? Is it the blessing for Asov is better? He says, no. From this, King Solomon learned that when he built the holy temple and he raised this to prayers, that Jewish people, that they believe in God, so they will justify anything that God does. and they will never complain to God. They won't say Tigar, that God is bad, like Abraham did. No matter what God did to Abraham, he still believed in him. God knows what he's doing. This is all for the best. And therefore, God gave him in such a way so you'll know clearly, right? So that God will know what is really in your heart, right? Do you really believe in God, or are you just in it for, what benefit you can receive? But a non-Jew, they don't have the same faith, and therefore, if something bad happens, they'll stop believing in God. So therefore, it says, that's what it says. He said, "Va'ata tishma." God will do anything that. I'm sorry. Was Emunah. Therefore, it says, "Va'ata tishma Hashemayim." Therefore, when he's blessing the Jews, it says that the heavens and the earth, they are your judges and witnesses. But a non-Jew, whether he's fitting or he's not fitting, God gives him the blessing in order that he won't complain and deny God. So much does God want the non-Jews also to believe in him. Okay, this is the continuation of the blessing. Well, may God, that Yitzchak is giving to Yaakov, may God give you from the dew of the heaven and from the fat of the earth and a lot of produce and wine, grapes. Explained in different ways. Right. So he essentially explains like what Rashi says, that to the Jewish people, that only if they're fitting does God give them this big blessing so that they'll know to return and to serve God. But a non-Jew, if he doesn't give him a blessing, so he'll blame everything on God. He won't blame it on himself. So you see that the non-Jews have tremendous success. And even if they, no matter what the sins they do, look how powerful all these dictators and the church and these things are. And they're going against God. But that's the way God does things. Okay. A continued blessing. May the people serve you, and all of the nations will bow down to you. You will be a master for your brother, and the sons of your mother will bow down to you. Whoever curses you will be cursed, and whoever blesses you will be blessed. Rashi, Yaakov, he said, Omar Yehuda b'nei avicha. Yehuda is to the Yehuda, to Yaakov, he said that, Yaakov said to Yehuda, when Yaakov was blessing all of his children, Parshas Vayechi, we'll see in the end of this, he said to Yehuda that bow down to you the sons of your fathers. Why? Because he had the sons of your father, because he had a lot of sons from different mothers. Yaakov had 4 wives, right? But here he just says, the son of your mother, only one mother. I'm sorry. Let's get this back again. I'm sorry. By Yaakov, when Yaakov blessed Yehuda, he said, "Who will bow down to you? The sons of your father, not the sons of your mother," because he had a lot of mothers. But here, because Yaakov only had one wife, so he said, "The sons of your mother will bow down to you." Yaakov will. Whoever. Yitzchak only had one wife, so therefore your mother. Whoever curses you will be cursed, and whoever blesses you will be blessed. And Bilam, when he was blessing the Jewish people, he said, whoever blesses you, I will bless, and whoever curses you, I will curse. He put the curses last. He said, tzaddikim, in the beginning, righteous people, first of all, they have difficulties in life, curses, hardships, and afterwards, God gives them peace and blessing. Everyone curses them and makes them trouble, first of all, and then afterwards, they get blessed. Therefore, Yitzchak precede curses to blessing. Evil people, first of all, in the beginning, they have success and everything goes good. And in the end, they have difficulties. Therefore, Bilam preceded the blessing before the curse. Blessing. That's because that's what he knew. That's it. When Yitzchak finished blessing Yaakov, he went out of the room, and Yaakov went out of the room from his father Yitzchak, and Asov came. Asov came. One went out, closed one door, and the other one came in from another door. It says Vayehi, and it was. The word Vayehi means not good things are going to happen, because the Torah has pain, because he didn't give Yaakov, Yitzchak did not give Yaakov all of the blessings, because we find that there were a few little blessings left for Asov. If you would have given him all of the blessings, then there wouldn't be, the Jewish people would have never had any more problems. Edom would. That's where it says Vayehi, indicating something bad. So in comes Asov, and he also made good food, and he brought it to his father. One second. Okay, in comes Asov, and he also made good food, and he brought it to his father, and he said, "Stand, my father, and eat from my food that I just finished hunting, in order that you can bless me, like you said." He said, Yaakov, Kli Ykar, Yaakov spoke nice to his father. He said, "Please, father." He says, "Ein no" means he's requesting. And also, he let him sit down and eat. In other words, "I'll sit down with you." But Asov said, "No, stand up from where you are, and then sit in another place. I've got a place for eating." He didn't say, "Please," right? So we saw that he was already, and he said to Yitzchak, and Yitzchak said to him, "One second, who are you? I mean, I just finished blessing you. What are you coming in now with food? You just gave me food." Asov said, "I'm your son, your firstborn Asov." Yaakov, and Yitzchak, he trembled a great, tremendous fear. And he said, "So who was it that just brought me food, and I ate it, and I blessed him, and so he will be blessed. If I blessed him, I'm not taking it back." Right? Yaakov could have said, right, "Wow, Yaakov tricked me. So if so, I'm not going to give him any blessings. All those blessings were for you. The blessings were taken from him." He didn't say that. He said, "Let it be blessed." Let's see Rashi. Rashi said that Yitzchak suddenly became very, very afraid. Like it says, but he said, why? Because suddenly he saw hell opened up in front of him. When Yaakov came in, he saw heaven opened up. When Asov came in, he saw hell opened up. He said, "Who are you? Who are you that you come?" He said, "I've eaten from the food." When I said, "What does it mean he ate mikol from everything?" Ba'ochal mikol. He said that all sorts of tastes were in there. I wanted to take whatever I wanted. I tasted in his food. It was blessed food. I thought it was you that brought it. And he said, and so his blessing will be. Lo shelo tomar, so no one will say that if Yaakov would not have tricked his father, he wouldn't have gotten the blessings. No. Here we see that Yitzchak agreed to the blessings. He said, "Forget the fact that I was tricked. If I would have known it was Yaakov, I would have blessed him also. And so he will remain blessed." Vayomer mi'efo, this is the first letters of Imo, his mother. Who did all this trick? It was Rivka did the whole thing. Afo, he said, Afo is the numerical value of hell, Gehenom. The Gehenom came in with him. Okay, it says, when Asov heard these words of his father's, he screamed out with a great scream, very much, and he said to his father, "Bless me, Archeni Gamani, give me a blessing also, father." And his father said back to him, "Your brother came with trickery and he took your blessing, took it away. B'chachma, because with wisdom took." And he said, "Hachi karashimo," and he said, Therefore, his name is called Yaakov. Why? Because he tricked me twice. This is Asov saying. At Birchasi Lakach, he took my blessing. I'm sorry, at Bechoroti Lakach, he took my firstborn, that I was the firstborn, and now he's taking my blessing. And he said, haven't you got one blessing left for me? So Asov was saying in a very amazing way, he said, wow, now I understand something. Now I understand why we called his name Yaakov. Maybe this is the reason why, because of what's happened just now, that he was going to trick me. Another explanation is, why was he afraid? Harry, in the end, he realized that he blessed the right person. He said, maybe I did a big sin, that I blessed the small son, the second one before the first, and I changed the order of their birth. The first child is supposed to receive more than the second. So Asov started to scream, and he said, oh yeah, he's tricked me twice. His father said, twice? What did he do? What's the second thing? He said, oh, he tricked me. And a long time ago, he tricked me. He took my firstborn. He said, that was what I was so worried about. I thought that maybe I didn't give the blessing to the firstborn. Now, now I realized that I did bless the firstborn. You sold your right of firstborn. You sold it to him. So therefore, Gam Baruch Tiel, may he remain blessed. See, Agbeni, that he tricked me twice. Okay. So he said, maybe you've got one more blessing, Father. Yitzchak said to Asov, yes, okay, listen. I will make you a leader. No, I'm sorry. Asov said, behold, I have made him a leader over you and all of his brothers. I gave him servants. All of his brothers are for him servants. And I gave him all the plenty of the world, the grain, the wine. Therefore, what can what can I do? I gave him everything. What do you mean? What you can? We'll see that he had a few blessings. No, this is what Yitzchak was saying to Asov. I gave him 7 blessings. We'll see what the blessings are. Here it says there's another book over here. Where is this? And it says what the blessings are here. 7 blessings you get, and that was the last of all of them here. Excuse me. Here. What are the 7 blessings? He says, Yitzchak blessed Yaakov with 7 blessings. I'll give you the dew of the heaven. I'll give you the fat of the earth. That's 2. I'll give you grain. 3. I'll give you wine. 4. Nations will serve you. People will bow down to you. That's 6. And the last one is, Hevei givir achecha. You will be a master over your brothers. So why did he only mention the last one, the 7th, that you'll be a master over your brothers? He said, I'll tell you one, because that's the main one. Because you are now his servant. What good is it going to do if I bless you? Even if you buy everything, but what it says, I made him a master over you. So whatever a servant owns automatically belongs to his father. So it says, nevertheless, maybe you got one blessing. So he said, Vayomer Esav el Aviv, the father said, listen, give me at least one blessing. Avi, borcheni gamani, bless me. And he lifted up his voice and he cried. He cried. Yitzchak said, okay, listen. From the oil of the earth will be your dwelling place, and from the dew of the heaven from above. Right? He says, what does this mean? From the fat of the earth? He says, this is Italy of Greece. Italy. This is like Rome, the church, the Pope, all these things. That's the headquarters of Asov. Here we go. The blessing is not finished. you will live by your sword, and you will serve your brother. But kasher tered, but when he makes a mistake, uprakto olo me'al tzavrecha, then you can take off this yoke from your neck. In other words, you're going to be a servant for him until he messes up. We'll see. You have, okay, the grammar. Kol tered, it says like this: when the Jewish people go against the Torah, then you'll have a claim against him, and that to make God regret the blessings that Yaakov received. Then, because remember what he said before, he said Elokim. In other words, Yaakov is going to be judged. If they do what they're supposed to, then they can be the leaders over the world, and the world will listen to God. The world will do what they're supposed to. But if not, then every man for himself. The Jews won't be able to lead. Uparakta, then you can take off the yoke. Asov hated Yaakov because of the blessings that he blessed it. And Asov said in his heart, coming the days soon, my father's going to die, and I'm going to kill Yaakov, my brother. This was told to Rivka. Who told to Rivka? It says with Ruach HaKodesh. She knew from a divine inspiration what Asov was planning. And she called Yaakov and she said to him, listen, Asov is coming and he is thinking about how to kill you. Now, my son, says Rivka, listen to what I say. Get out of here. Run to Lavan, my brother, because that was a brother, in the city of Haran, and sit by him many days until your brother Asov calms down, until the anger of your brother about you leaves him, and he'll forget what he wanted to do. Then I'll send a messenger to take you for there. Why should I lose both of you on the same day? Why should I leave both of you on the same day? What does it mean? If your brother wants to go and kill you, so then you're his. I'm saying, if he comes alecha, if Asov tries to kill you and you kill him, so his sons will kill you. And she prophesied really that in the same day that both died, that they both died on the same day. Remember, I told you the story that at the burial, when Yaakov was buried, they took him to bury. So Asov tried to stop the burial. He said, I'm also a son of Yitzchak. The place in Marat HaMachpelah, in Hebron, the burial place, should belong to me. And one of Yaakov's sons knocked Asav's head off, and it rolled into the chest of Yitzchak, his father. So Yaakov was buried, and the head of Asov was also buried, but they died on the same day or in the same period. Rivka said to Yitzchak, I can't stand the daughters of Chet, the Chiti. If my son, it takes a daughter from Chet, then what am I having any life for? And then we're going to see that now Yitzchak is going to go to Haran, and he's going to be with Lavan, the incredible cheater, who cheats him 20 years for work. And despite all that, Yaakov goes out with the 12 tribes and tremendous riches, as we'll talk about more, God willing, tomorrow. God willing, I hope I'll have time to do the Haftorah today also, but that ends today's class. Have a good day with Mashiach now.